I don't think we expect to make them a real feature of any of this. The way that I felt about JD and say something about him that other people couldn't say.
Why Usha Vance embarrassed JD Vance in front of everyone? At a major event, Usha Vance steps up for what seems like a routine speech. But within seconds, the atmosphere changes. JD Vance, her husband, the vice president, was caught off guard, and even President Trump seemed to take note. Was it just playful teasing, or had Usha exposed something far deeper? Behind the polished public image, Usha has faced struggles few can imagine. From her rise alongside JD to the emotional weight of their marriage under the glare of Washington's spotlight, her journey has been anything but easy. Now, with whispers growing about tension behind the scenes, one question lingers. Was this moment just a misstep, or the beginning of something far more serious? Stay with us as we uncover the truth about Usha Vance, her marriage, and the emotional toll of life in the political arena. The dark truth about Usha Vance and JD Vance. To understand why Usha Vance broke down in tears and what it revealed about her husband JD Vance, we need to go back to the beginning. Usha Bala Chilukuri was born on January 6, 1986, in sunny San Diego, California. Her parents, Kish and Lakshmi Chilukuri, had immigrated from India in the 1980s, carrying with them a deep respect for education. As part of the Telugu-speaking Brahmin community, they placed immense value on knowledge, discipline, and hard work. With such role models, Usha was destined to excel. Her father, a mechanical engineer from IIT Madras, went on to become a professor at San Diego State University. Her mother, a molecular biologist, climbed the academic ranks and later became a provost at UC San Diego. Intelligence and ambition ran in Usha's blood. Growing up in Rancho Peñasquitos, she thrived, both in and outside the classroom. She wasn't just an exceptional student. She played the flute, led school organizations, and was deeply involved in volunteer work. Then came Yale Law School, where she met J.D. Vance, a Marine veteran from a vastly different background. But that story is for later. For Usha, a legal career wasn't just an option, it was inevitable. She wasn't just another bright student looking for a stable job. She was fiercely ambitious, determined to make a mark in the legal world. Settling for anything less than the best was never in her nature. After graduating from Yale Law in 2013, she landed some of the most prestigious clerkships in the country. She started with Judge Amul Thapar on the U.S. District Court in Kentucky, a key stepping stone for top legal minds. In 2014, she clerked for Brett Kavanaugh on the D.C. Circuit Court, long before he became a Supreme Court justice. Her biggest milestone came in 2017 when she secured a clerkship with Chief Justice John Roberts at the U.S. Supreme Court. She was handling cases that shaped national policy, including the high-profile AAR v. Gaza case. It was the kind of career most young lawyers could only dream of. But Usha didn't just thrive in the courtroom, she dominated it. She joined the powerhouse firm Munger, Tolis, and Olson, handling high-stakes cases across entertainment, government, and tech. Her client list included Hollywood giants, top universities, and even the energy titan Pacific Gas and Electric. Then, in July 2024, after years at the peak of her legal career, Usha made an unexpected decision. She stepped away from law to focus on her family. Now let's rewind to where it all began. Yale Law School. That's where J.D. Vance and Usha met, but their love story was about more than just two brilliant students falling for each other. It was the collision of two completely different worlds. J.D. grew up in Middletown, Ohio, surrounded by hardship, poverty, addiction, and family struggles. His rock was his tough-as-nails grandmother, Mama, who taught him resilience. Usha, on the other hand, was raised in a structured, academically driven Indian-American household in San Diego. With parents who were accomplished scholars, success wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. Despite their contrasting upbringings, Fate brought them together in 2010 while working on law publications. Their connection started as intellectual, filled with deep discussions about social issues, including JD's passion for understanding the struggles of the white working class. But for JD, it quickly became more than just conversation. The moment he found out Usha was single, he wasted no time asking her out. Balancing law school and a budding romance wasn't easy, but they made it work. And through it all, Usha's steady presence became JD's anchor, like the time she talked him down after he stormed out of a bad interview. By 2013, JD and Usha's bond was stronger than ever, and by 2014, they were ready to make it official. Their wedding was a heartfelt celebration, blending their cultures and families in a way that felt uniquely them. For JD, meeting Usha's family was eye-opening. Coming from a background of chaotic family dynamics, he was struck by the warmth, structure, and deep respect within her home. Her parents, both accomplished scientists, welcomed him with open arms, showing him a different kind of family, one built on stability and understanding. Then, in 2016, everything changed. JD's memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, turned him into a household name. Suddenly, the world wanted to hear his story. Through it all, Usha remained his anchor, his brilliant, steady partner who helped him navigate the whirlwind of fame and scrutiny. But beyond all the professional achievements and high-profile moments, Usha's most defining role has been motherhood. While she and JD have built impressive careers, their greatest pride is their 3 children, Yuan, Vivek, and Mirabel. Parenthood, as they quickly learned, is humbling. Sleepless nights, career demands, and the constant balancing act of work and family have shaped their journey in ways they never could have predicted. In June 2017, they welcomed their first son, Yuan, stepping into the unpredictable world of parenting. A rare glimpse into their new life came when journalist Megyn Kelly shared a photo of JD cradling his newborn son. Then, in February 2020, just before the world shut down, their second son, Vivek, was born. With 2 kids in the mix and JD's political career gaining momentum, the challenges of parenthood only intensified. In 2024, JD missed Vivek's birthday due to his Senate duties, but he made up for it in a special way, reading "Oh, the Places You'll Go" from the Senate floor, a small but meaningful gesture. Their daughter, Mirabel, arrived in December 2021, completing their family. Amid the chaos of careers, kids, and public life, JD and Usha have built a home filled with love, laughter, and teamwork. Fast forward to January 20th, 2025, the nation watches as history unfolds in Washington, D.C. JD Vance stands tall, right hand raised as he takes the oath of office, officially becoming the Vice President of the United States. At just 40 years old, he's the 3rd youngest VP in American history, following John Breckinridge and Richard Nixon. Beside him, Usha Vance stands with quiet strength, now the Second Lady of the United States, the first of Indian origin and Hindu faith to hold the role. It's a significant political moment, a milestone for their family, and the beginning of a whole new chapter in their lives. But let's be real. No matter how prestigious the title, they're still parents to 3 young kids, and no amount of political power makes that job any easier. The ceremony was dignified, grand, and steeped in tradition, until reality set in. As JD delivered his oath with steady composure, Usha had her hands full. Their 4-year-old, restless and unimpressed by history in the making, started squirming. In a moment every parent could relate to, Usha shot him the look, that silent but unmistakable mom stare, full of warning and consequences. Social media went wild. Clips of Usha Vance, the most relatable mom in America, spread like wildfire. Parents everywhere laughed because, let's face it, when you're 4, historic inaugurations take a back seat to snack time and naps. JD and Usha may be a political power couple, But even they weren't immune to wild speculation. One of the strangest rumors? A viral claim that Usha had secretly filed for divorce before the 2024 election, fearing she'd be trapped in an unhappy marriage if JD made it to the White House. This wasn't just another internet rumor. It was a full-blown social media firestorm. It all started when a TikToker named Aubrey confidently declared that Usha Vance was leaving JD before it was too late. The internet, as expected, ran with it. Was Usha unhappy with JD's politics? Had she been pressured to stay in the marriage? The fact that she had recently stepped away from her high-powered legal career only fueled the speculation. Then, just 37 seconds into the video, Aubrey smirked and revealed the twist. See how easy it is to make up stories? The entire thing was fake, a hoax designed to prove how quickly misinformation spreads. But even after the prank was exposed, the rumor refused to die. JD and Usha kept a united front, showing no signs of tension. Yet, whispers persisted. Was there some truth buried beneath the surface? That's when Usha finally decided to set the record straight. For the usually composed second lady, it was a rare moment of vulnerability. In what started as a routine conversation, Usha's emotions finally broke through, and she found herself in tears, speaking openly about the realities of her marriage. "It's true. He's always gone," she admitted, her voice unsteady. "JD's work keeps him away, campaigning, meetings, speeches. Some days I barely see him, and it's hard, really hard." She paused, wiping her eyes before taking a deep breath. "But even with all of that, I can't imagine life without him." Usha explained that over the years, they had found their own rhythm, messy, imperfect, but uniquely theirs. "We've been together so long, we just know how to make it work. This is our life, and we chose it." Then, as the weight of her words settled, she allowed herself a small smile. With a soft laugh, she added, "I'll be honest, I can't stand him when he's too caught up in work. But I love him, and I always will." Tragic details about Usha. When Usha Vance first met JD Vance in law school, she probably never imagined she'd one day be standing beside him as the second lady of the United States. Those who know the couple well often credit Usha as a major force behind JD's success, with some even calling her the steady hand that helped guide his career. JD himself has described her as his spirit guide, a role that has come with its fair share of challenges. In Hillbilly Elegy, JD speaks admiringly of his wife, but doesn't shy away from the realities of their marriage. He candidly admits to struggling with anger issues, writing, "Even at my best, I'm a delayed explosion." He credits Usha with helping him stay grounded, explaining, "I can be diffused, but only with skill and precision. It's not just that I've learned to control myself, but that Usha has learned how to manage me." It's a revealing confession, and one that highlights just how much Usha has had to navigate in their relationship. Stepping into the public eye wasn't something Usha was particularly eager to do. In an interview with Fox News, she admitted she wasn't exactly thrilled about becoming the nation's second lady. "I don't know that anyone is ever ready for that kind of scrutiny," she said honestly. "I'm not raring to change anything about our lives right now, but I believe in JD, and I really love him. We'll just sort of see what happens. We're open." But ready or not, their lives did change, dramatically. When Donald Trump won a second term, JD's role as vice president placed their family in the harsh glare of the public spotlight. For Usha, that meant navigating an entirely new world of scrutiny, criticism, and pressure. While she may not have asked for this level of visibility, she now finds herself at the center of it, facing the challenges that come with being the country's newest second lady. Usha has faced racist attacks. One of the most disturbing challenges Usha Vance has faced since JD Vance's political rise is the wave of racist attacks directed at her. As the daughter of Indian immigrants, she has been the target of hateful rhetoric from far-right extremists. Some critics condemned JD for marrying a non-white woman, while white supremacist Nick Fuentes took it a step further, framing Usha's race and Hindu faith as problematic. "She was not raised Christian and is not Christian," Fuentes declared, as if her background were a flaw. JD hasn't ignored the vitriol. In various interviews, he has openly addressed the racist backlash his wife has endured. Speaking on the Megyn Kelly show, he acknowledged, "Usha is obviously not a white person, and we've been attacked by some white supremacists over this." During an appearance on Face the Nation, he was once again asked about the racist attacks, with Margaret Brennan questioning whether he was concerned about the hostility escalating if he became vice president. JD's response was clear. This wasn't new territory for them. "I signed up for it. My wife didn't sign up for it," he admitted. But despite the ugliness of it all, he emphasized Usha's resilience. "My wife's pretty tough, and she knows what we signed up for." She's admitted that the negative press tends to get to her. The internet can be brutal, and Usha Vance knows that better than most. Not only are there clear signs that she's been shut out of Donald Trump's inner circle, but the media hasn't exactly been kind to her either, and she's the first to admit it stings. White supremacist Nick Fuentes once sneered to his followers, "What kind of man marries somebody named Usha?" He even went so far as to claim that JD's marriage to an Indian woman showed a lack of respect for his own heritage. Comments like that would be upsetting for anyone, and unfortunately, Usha hasn't just endured personal attacks. She's also had to watch her husband be dragged through the headlines. In an interview with Fox News' Ainsley Earhart, Usha admitted that the JD Vance she sees in news stories often feels like a stranger. Other times, it might spawn discussions or thoughts about what we should do next or how we should live, she reflected. Over time, though, she's had to learn how to tune out the noise. "I just try to not let it affect the way that I live," she said. Usha Vance has had to explain her husband's controversial comments in interviews. JD Vance stirred up controversy in 2021 when he took a swipe at Democratic leaders, claiming America was effectively run by a bunch of childless cat ladies. He argued that these politicians were miserable in their own lives and the choices they've made, so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. Naturally, the comment didn't sit well with many on the left. When Donald Trump selected JD as his running mate, his wife, Usha Vance, found herself fielding questions about the remark. Rather than directly defending it, she suggested that people had blown it out of proportion. The reality is, he made a quip in service of making a point that was substantive and had actual meaning, she explained in an interview. "I just wish sometimes that people would talk about those things instead of focusing so much on this three-word phrase or that three-word phrase." It wasn't exactly a full-throated defense, but it also wasn't a disavowal. And honestly, who could blame her? Trying to clean up a remark like that was never going to be an easy task. Her husband doesn't share her religious beliefs. Usha and JD Vance don't share the same religion, and JD has acknowledged that his Catholic faith hasn't always been the easiest adjustment for his wife. "She didn't sign up for this," he admitted in an interview with the New York Times. "I felt kind of bad. Like, oh, you didn't sign up to marry a weekly churchgoer. Are you okay with this?" And she was more than okay with it. Usha has also opened up about their religious differences, admitting that it can be a challenge at times. "I think the answer really is that we just talk a lot," she explained. She added that while they may not always see eye to eye on faith, they align on the things that matter most, like the values and morals they're instilling in their 3 children. Usha Vance has lost friends because of her husband's politics. Aligning with Donald Trump often comes at a cost, and for Usha Vance, that meant losing some friends when her husband, JD Vance, became Trump's running mate. It didn't help that JD was once one of Trump's harshest critics, until he needed his endorsement to win Ohio's Senate race in 2021. If reports are true, Usha wasn't a fan of Trump either. According to former classmates, she was deeply disturbed by the January 6th insurrection and held Trump responsible. They also claimed she was previously a registered Democrat. Given that history, it's not surprising that Usha's social circle has shrunk since JD aligned himself with Trump. One of their former close friends, Sophia Nelson, a transgender woman, opened up to CNN about how their friendship fell apart. Nelson recalled how JD and Usha were once supportive when they underwent gender-affirming surgery. Now, the couple has embraced Trump's anti-trans rhetoric. "I do miss JD and Usha. I don't wish anything ill on them," Nelson shared. "I care about them as people. But the political messenger he's become is incredibly dangerous." Usha briefly addressed the issue in an interview with Fox News, acknowledging that politics can sometimes come between friendships. "It's hard to know that sometimes politics gets in the way," she admitted. However, she chose not to respond directly to what former friends have said. "I care about them and wish them well." She quit her job when her husband got tapped for vice president. When J.D. Vance was tapped as Donald Trump's running mate, he had one request for his wife, Usha Vance. He wanted her by his side. Usha shared in October 2024 that her main role in the campaign was to be JD's companion. "The thing that JD asked, and the thing that I certainly agreed to do, is to keep him company," she said, explaining that with the chaos of campaigning, her husband needed someone to talk to. To make that happen, she left her job at a San Francisco law firm, committing to supporting JD full-time. The firm later confirmed her departure in a statement to People, saying, "Usha has informed us she has decided to leave the firm. Usha has been an excellent lawyer and colleague, and we thank her for her years of work and wish her the best in her future career." Usha told People that she resigned as soon as JD was selected as Trump's VP pick, choosing to focus on caring for our family. In an interview with NBC, she elaborated on her role, describing herself as JD's sounding board. She often gives him feedback on his speeches and offers advice when needed, helping him filter through the noise of critics and the media. Still, the reality remains, while JD's political career soars, Usha has had to step away from her own. Usha Vance's journey has been anything but easy. While she remains steadfast in her support for JD, it's hard not to wonder what she may have given up along the way. Is it fair that one partner often sacrifices more in high-profile marriages? Should there be a balance, or is this just reality? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.